That's this angle right here. Well, they're giving me an angle measure, so I want to figure out how are these two angles related? Are they alternate interior? Are they corresponding? Are they alternate exterior? Riley, what are they?
They are. Hold on. Something's plane.
Something what?
Linear plane.
No, what? We've never said that in this class ever.
I have no clue.
What type of angles are these? We just reviewed this yesterday. Who was paying attention?
Obviously not.
They're on the same side of the transversal. One's on the interior, one's on the exterior. What type of angle is that? Yes,
There you
Morgan.
go.
That's corresponding angles.
That's what I just said.
Then you have to think back. Are corresponding angles congruent or supplementary? All of these angles are
Congruent.
either congruent or supplementary. They are congruent.
What's
So if
that
they are
mean?
congruent, what is x equal to, or the measure of angle ABC?
Means 80. So 80 plus 80 is.
No, it's just 80.
Huh?
They're congruent. They have to be the same.
Yeah, so x equals 80, but
And then
80
the x is just the measure of angle ABC. Why is this not doing anything?
wait, why would x be the angle of ABC though? I thought you add the 8.
If you look at the picture, do you see that x is in the corner of angle ABC?
Yeah, so it's just x?
Yeah.
What does that do?
It's like when I write, if it doesn't match up where I'm writing, then it's like, it's off, so I have to readjust it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, part B, find the measure of angle DEF.
They're
Find the measure of angle
corresponding.
DEF. Those are corresponding. Again, what do we know about corresponding angles? What do we know about corresponding angles? They are congruent. When things are congruent, what could I do to them? What does congruent mean? They're the
Means
same. So if they're the same, what could you do to them? Set them
Add
equal,
them.
right? I could set them equal. So I could say 2x minus 45 equals x plus 30 because corresponding angles are congruent. Things are congruent, we set them equal. And then we're going to solve for x. So a lot of people made this mistake on the test. Remember, when you want the x to go to the other side of the equal sign, you have to do the opposite. I have to subtract by x. And in the same step, I'm going to move the 45 to the other side. Again, I have to do the opposite because it's going to the opposite side of the equation. So I'm going to add it. So x equals 75 degrees. Now this one is slightly different from part A because part A, the angle I was trying to find was just x. So once I found x, I found the angle. Well, in this one, I'm trying to find angle DEF right here. So I can't just say the angle 75 degrees, that's just x. So how do I find the measure of angle DEF?
You're going to take 75 and then add it 30.
Yeah, this is the measure of angle DEF. Well, we know what x is, so I could plug it in x and then get the angle measure. So this is equal to x plus 30, but now we know that x is 75. So it's 105 degrees. Without plugging in for x for this angle up here, what's this angle measure?
75, or
105. Yeah, 105. 105, because they are the same, they are congruent.
That makes sense.
Okay, part C. Before I find EDF, which is just x, so essentially I'm solving for x, how are these angles related? Identify the angle pair. They're on opposite sides of the transversal and they're both on the exterior. alternate exterior. Look at Grace using her resources. She used her notes. Why aren't you guys using your notes? You have them right in front of you. They're very easy to access. It'll help you remember this stuff. So these are alternate exterior angles. Are alternate exterior angles congruent or supplementary?
Congruent.
They are congruent. So if this is 125, what's the measure of angle EDF?
125.
125. Congruent or equal? They are the same. Okay, part D. Angle TUS. So this angle right here. So they're giving us the two angles. I have to figure out how those are related before I could set up an equation.
Alternate interior.
Alternate means opposite sides of the transversal. These are on the same side.
No, they aren't. S and U.
These are the parallel lines. This is the transversal. The one line doing the cutting is the transversal.
No idea what that means.
The one line drawn through
Oh,
two
so
lines.
the letters we're looking for is T, R, and T.
What? We're looking for letters?
What are we looking for?
This angle in green. But I gotta figure out how these two angles are related first. Emma?
Interior
I need something right before the interior.
consecutive.
Alternate interior.
Consecutive or same side interior angles. These are same side interior angles. The line that is drawn through two other lines is your transversal. If my angles are on the same side of that transversal, so in this case they're both above it, they're on the same side, okay? And they're on the interior, so they're in between the two parallel lines that are getting cut. How are same side interior angles related? Okay, you only have two options, either they're congruent or they're supplementary. They are supplementary. So how can I set up an equation with these two angles knowing that they're supplementary? What does supplementary mean? Whoever said that, can you say that louder? You were right. They have to equal 180, right? Supplementary angles add to be 180 degrees.
Oh, that makes sense.
So here are my two angles. I have to add them together and set it equal to 180. Because they're supplementary to each other. So your only options in these problems, either you're setting your two angles equal to each other, or you're adding them together and set it equal to 180. That's the only two options you have. Okay, because these are on the same side of the equal sign, I'm going to combine them normally. Don't do the opposite. They are on the same side. So this is going to become 36x equals 180.
144.
That's too big. 144 36 times is going to be much bigger than 180.
Oh. 180.
It's 5. So x equals 5. I only found x. I want to find the measure of angle TUS. This one is angle TUS. They're representing that as 23x. Well, now I know what x is. Yes, John?
Why don't you just do 23 times 5?
Yep. Do you know what that is?
No.
What's 20 times 5?
I don't know. I second.
You know 20 times 5. What's 5 times 2? 10, and then another 0, so 100.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's 5 times 3?
15.
15, so 115 is 115. Stop, let him think.
I got you.
115
It's okay, I had to
degrees.
use a calculator.
115 degrees.
Not that we need to know mental math.
You're lucky that this is a weird year. We'd be doing mental math quizzes every week.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would. I do
Not
that
like
for
we'll
my
actually use it
classes.
in life.
I use mental math all the time.
Not a lot.
Okay, part E.
How often do you use this in life?
Not too often.
Exactly.
So,
So why do we need to know it?
how often do you use most of the stuff you learn in school?
Exactly. So you just agreed with me. We shouldn't feed it.
No, because like you're learning skills. So like football players, when they lift and stuff, are they physically like bench pressing or deadlifting on the field when they're playing a game?
I don't know. I don't watch football.
You know that they're not.
I don't know that.
So they're not actually using that exact thing in the football game or any athlete, but they're doing that because they're training their body to be better at football. So we're training your brain to be better at other things. Just because you're not using this exactly, we're working your brain.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Alright. How are these angles related? They are alternate interior. What do we know about alternate interior angles? They are congruent. What do we do to congruent things? We set them equal.
What is that noise?
Okay, we're going to solve for x, so I'm going to bring the 3x over. Since it's going to the opposite side, I'm going to subtract. I'm going to bring the 54 to the other side. You got to do the opposite and add. So I get, 2x equals 70. So what does x equal? It's 70 divided by 2. 35. So in this one, they just wanted you to find x. Okay, no angle measure, so I don't have to plug it in.
Makes sense.
I put 2 challenge problems that I want you to try, F and G. Make sure you're paying attention to what angle I'm asking you to find. Okay? I will allow you to converse with the person next to you, so you guys, if you're stuck, you can figure out where to go from there. You guys can work together. Okay? So I'll give you a minute or two to try to figure these out. maybe they did it a different way, maybe they were able to take it a step further and not just solve for the variable. Okay, I should hear you guys talking to each other. Let's go, come on.
Oh,
15.
I got 39 so far for that one. And then I got,
Did you solve
for that one, I got
angle
one.
DEF?
For that one, so far, all I got is x equals 30.
Okay, from what I saw, I think all of us were able to set this up to at least solve for A, right? What did you guys do to solve for A? Reese? Why did you set them equal? Yeah, these are alternate interior, so we know that they're congruent, so we're gonna set them equal. So 4A equals 60. So A equals 15. So it seems like a lot of us kind of got stuck after we solved for A. Did anyone figure out how to get past that? Anyone go after? Riley?
Huh?
What did you do after you found A?
Oh, A is 15,
Uh-huh.
and then all you do is 15 plus 100 equals 115.
Okay, that's one step further, but we're not done. So
But
you could
that's-
use A to
That's
find,
DBF.
we're finding D, E, F, this one right here.
Yeah, DEF.
This
So-
is B, F, E.
Oh.
Okay, so this, but this is okay. So you could use A to plug into one of the angles to figure out what one of the angles measures are, right? So this is 115 degrees. Well, I want to find DEF. So this is kind of like the problems we were doing earlier. So how is DEF related to this angle?
Oh.
What type of angles are these?
Corresponding.
No, Morgan, you were right. These are sup because they are same side interior angles. So it's kind of like a puzzle piece, right? You have to find one piece first to find the last piece. So once I know that this is 115 degrees, these two are same side interior angles, and we know same side interior angles are supplementary. So if I want to find the measure of angle DEF, I just made that a weird E. How do I find it if this is 115, Riley?
Minus 180.
180
equals
minus
65.
115. So I get 65 degrees.
So is DEF 65?
Yes. So DEF is 65. You could have also found this angle. This would also be 115. And these two angles are making a straight line. They're a linear pair, so those would have to be supplementary as well. Okay, so either way you looked at it, you would still find 65 both ways. Can I scroll? You all got this down? Anyone start part G? Want to tell me what they did? Right?
What you're gonna do is 3x minus 24 equals 2x plus 13.
Why?
You're gonna move the 2
Wait,
over.
why did you do that?
Oh, because, they're or alternate interior.
Alternate interior angle. So we know that you could probably set up an equation with these two, but there's two different variables. So it's easier to look at the two angles that have the same variable, so you can solve for one of the variables. Okay? So I'm looking at the two angles that have the same variable, and those are alternate interior angles. So we know that alternate interior angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to use this equation to solve for x.
It's 37.
So we know x is 37. So think back what we did in the previous challenge problem. Once you found A, what were you able to do? Someone besides Riley. Thank you, Riley. What did we do with A in the previous problem? What did we do in A? Once we found this, what did we do? John? You plugged it into one of the angles to see what the angle measure is. So what do you think I could do with x? Plug it in. You could plug it into any one. They're going to be the same thing. Which one do you guys want to plug it into? The 2x plus 13 or the 3x minus 24? 3x minus 24. Okay. So we're going to plug it into here. So instead of 3x, it's going to be 3 times 37 minus 24.
39.
So wait, that's 90, 111. You got 39?
Yeah.
Did I add that right? That wouldn't make sense.
Times
3
39
times 37.
minus 24. Oh, 93, sorry.
93? What's 3 times? Okay, what's 111 minus 24?
3 times
87.
37 minus 24. Why am I getting 3? What the?
Okay, so we don't care about this 3x minus 24 anymore. We know that this angle is 87 degrees. We just found that out by plugging in for x. So how could I find y? Ignore this too. We don't even need that anymore either. Morgan.
180 minus 87.
Okay, so if you do that, 180 minus 87, what does that equal?
93.
So what is this telling us? What is 93 degrees? Because it's not y. Riley?
That is 3y plus 24.
We found that this angle is 93 degrees, so I could set 3y plus 24 equal to 93. Another way you could set this up is these are same side interior angles, so just like the one above it. And you could add those two things together, so 3y plus 24 plus 87 equals 180. So you could either solve for y by setting it equal to 93 because this angle equals 93, or you could add these two together and set it equal to 180 degrees because they're supplementary. They're same side interior angles.
Answer's 23.
Answer is 23.
Y equals 23.
Yes. So we have our y, we have our x. And then you're done. That's all we were looking for. Yeah. No, we're not done today.